basically because I haven't done anything before setting it up. So yeah, few days we're trying. I was trying to figure out the multi-streaming option. Still in the process. Fortunately, met someone very cool through the live stream. We contacted and the guy, his name is Ross. He's helping to set up and look for further options and all that kind of stuff. But I decided that as much as I want to keep doing it, I don't want to give up on my regular live streams on YouTube. So I'm just gonna refocus on it again. Okay, hi. Hi, how are you doing? Let me readjust the camera a little bit. That should be good. Okay. Alright, so it's time to warm up. So in the beginning I'm doing joint warm up. Good morning. Morning to you too. Well, good evening from here. Doing alright. How are you doing? I'm doing a joint warm up. So you see I'm not really doing anything fast. In the boxing we would just go on the circle and start, like doing this kind of stuff. But when I train alone, I just prefer to just keep it simple. And it's usually better to warm up the slower, let your joints warm up first, and then you move to more advanced, more dynamic warm up. Here it's evening too. Okay, yeah, well, then we are in the same part of the world, somewhere nearby, because this is Vietnam, Nha Trang. Right, well, don't hesitate, say hi in the chat. Feel free to ask questions while I'm warming up still. Right, go to the lower body, the waist or the hips. So you can do just the waist like that, and you can do the hip rotation. I recommend to do both ways. Right, the hip joints. Few rounds backwards or forward. I like to add up a little bit of the balancing, so I'm standing and not putting my foot down. Helps to activate the balance. Alright, going to the knees. We'll look into the chat in a second. Before you ask why is it loud here, because there is a kids class now and they're just being loud and adorable. Wait a second, let me show you. So they're just learning how to listen, learning how to count. Just basically doing the warm-up same as I do. Yeah, anyways. Knees. Yeah, basically he says if they're gonna talk to each other and be loud and no way out of line, you're just gonna put them in the corner and they're gonna sit the entire training. Let's see how it works. I used to work with kids and it was not easy, but it was super funny, super cool, rewarding. What are you doing? Yes, it's two. That is just a two, one of those. The sport is boxing and training will be boxing training. And yeah, what else? looks good. Knee exercise is gonna strengthen them. This is more like a warm up to prevent the injury. So the reason why we're doing the joint warm up first is to make our the synovial liquid move in the joint. So it plays like a natural lubricant for your joints. And this is how we started. And then we can go like more dynamic. I don't know why I'm doing this one. This is like a sprinting drill. You know, then we can go like boom, like this. I got this one. Oh yeah, like this. Boom. 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 Stuff like that, you know? All of those are more like coordination drills. There's my friend doing like a cat training, kickboxing, Muay Thai style, and it might be a little bit loud. I'm having a mic, but still, might be like this for a while. That tattoo will be regretting in a few years, trust me. I'm already having it for many years and I love it. I'm not getting any more tattoos because I'm not, that might be a regret, but I'm happy with all my tattoos. I have just 5 tattoos and I'm pretty much happy with them. Do you use any methods to plan your time? Well, writing down helps, but I can't tell that I do that all the time. Participate in professional boxing championship. Well, I want to, but so far I'm just showing my preparational journey. Okay, well, what I have here is before doing any leg work, and we're gonna do intervals. So it's gonna be speed up, there's gonna be heavy punches, and then it's gonna be rests. So we're gonna have like a 20-second intervals, but that's the main work on the bag. At least 10 rounds. Here now, I'm just gonna do a little bit of warm up, shadow boxing. So a little bit of shadow boxing, both with dumbbells and without. Diamond push-ups. I don't even know what you mean. I'm not exactly. I mean, you gotta explain to me. There are different variations, but can't remember which one is the diamond one. Okay. Boom. Boom. All right. So we have the time here. I'll start in 3, 2, 1. Bump. 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 Baby. Try to do the same side. That is fast. By the way, guys, this is orthodox, this is southpaw, okay? This is southpaw for me, this is orthodox. Because for you it might seem opposite in the camera. Okay, with a twist. That's quick moves, thanks. The rolls. Head of the center line, let's see more waves rolls. That's a good point. Yeah, let's do it. 30 more seconds. It's just a warm-up, guys. This is not the main exercise, so I'm not planning to waste my energy too much on it. So yeah, just feel free to ask questions or say hi or say anything in the chat for the next 15 seconds. Yeah, more head movement. That's right. 2 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's good. Before you, I thought you were in Georgia. Well, I was for a couple of months. Now, me and my husband are back to Vietnam. At this point, we just love it here more. Back in the trunk, the place we used to be. Some more GDM, we shall see. To me that one is 50-50. Okay. Few more seconds. Don't hesitate to do the same combo. Like sometimes, yeah, freestyle, all the kind of stuff, but not necessary. Because all of that is a work you want to learn during training, right? So now I'm doing like jab, step back, jumping it off, then 1, 2, then I go 3, 1, 2, 3 kind of on the side. So this is the so kind of turning around from the okay. Is your husband fighter too? He used to be a professional base jumper. So fighting, boxing. I'm the one actually who's teaching him, and he's doing it as a hobby. Recognize my name one day. Well, it says Firas. I have quite a good memories sometimes, but not necessarily to the names. I remember people's faces quite well. Alright, 15 seconds. So now I'm gonna go close distance. Obviously jabbing off, but it's gonna be more like a circus moving and stuff, and wiggling, sleep, then and go switch and that kind of stuff. Okay? Well, it's good to get in, obviously, to be more close, and then jab. Because like Go, go. Okay, speed up. Okay. Alright guys. You know, sometimes that's the thing. People tend to talk a lot, but at the same time, if someone says that they want to be a world champion, they're just 15, and they're gonna put enough work, a little bit of luck, a little bit of talent, but mostly work and dedication. There are a lot of people that who laugh at those. You know what I mean? So let's don't do that in my chat, okay? I don't like this encouraging people. And you gotta be realistic. You gotta be realistic. Now I'm gonna do just the speed test. Hence. Okay. Bye bye, face. I'm gonna time you out. So you just stop doing it, okay?
Так, еще по одному разу, потом играем. Раз, два. Раз, два. Рома.
Well, your dream is on you, okay? But yeah, I stand up for people in the chat. I don't like, as I said, I don't like people just downgrading each other with no reason, you know? Avi from The Last of Us, I've been told that. The right hand is deadly. Wow. Maybe fast. I'm too small to be deadly, but it helps. I'm strong for my weight. Good stuff, boxing is beautiful sport. Keep it up. Be healthy, enjoy. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, so this was a warm-up, just for you to say, guys. So rest a little bit. I'm gonna rest a little bit. I'm gonna go towards one of the boxing bags, and we'll do the boxing. So all of that is conditioning, okay? All of what I'm doing now is for conditioning. I want to compete. I used to be an amateur boxer, so I had 2 official competitions in the amateur record. Like I had 5 fights. Then I had open ring fights and sparrings. So that was way more, but those were never recorded anywhere because those are the ones that the gyms host, and sometimes you go in even to another country and city, more like nearby. I'm from Georgia, so it would be Armenia, like the Caucasus region, obviously different cities. And then I retired. I gave up early, moved on with my life, but I never stopped training for myself at least. I loved boxing, I loved technique. I was trying to put a little bit of brain to it. And now last year, I'm actually, since I started doing YouTube, I'm getting back to it more and more. And yeah, looking forward to open some professional record here. Can't wait for karaoke. You know what? I'm gonna message the owner of the bar and say if they want to accept me once a week at least, because I don't think I would want to do more, but once a week would be cool, and we'll do karaoke live stream for sure. So let me talk to him. Oh, hi, Chris is in the chat. That's my husband, Chris Aiden, and he's a moderator too. So avoid to piss him off. Where I'm from? I'm from Georgia, the country. Georgia, Tbilisi, more accurately. Okay, I'm gonna have a little sit. I'm gonna go to the boxing bag, okay? Yeah. Okay, let's see. What I'm gonna do is there are a lot of kids going, so I'm just gonna do like this. So you see the boxing bag, right? So I'm just gonna go 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Like the speed pump, which is just the speedy punches. Then the straight away, boom, heavy, super heavy punches. So with the rotation, all that kind of stuff. Next 20 seconds, and then the last 20 seconds, I'm gonna relax and just be up on my feet. Okay? So I'm just gonna be like bouncing on my feet. So we can count it as the active recovery. Okay? So yeah, just give me a second. Truly fun times hanging out with you and the hobby. Okay, well, as I said, I'm going to talk to the owner. If they want me at least once a week, I think that should be good enough. Okay, what about jabs? Well, as I said, I usually, even here now, I was doing a lot of jabs with the dumbbell, and you should train jabs. But now we're not doing like a 3-minute round straightly like that. We're doing.
Если мяч туда выкатился, значит вы его берете в руки и замахиваете.
Я передам, если что, ничего. The coach was like, if the ball comes in here, you gotta take it in your hand. It's like, no, I'll catch it. It's fine. Kids are funny, super funny. Actually, I'm just thinking if I just get there, you can see me from here, right? You can see me in the mirror. Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. I'll flip the camera. Okay, I'm gonna do. What kind of martial arts do you train? Boxing. I'm doing boxing. All right, guys. I actually need to wait a little bit because kids are doing like now they have a game right in the gym. I'll show you. So they are like they're throwing the ball. Yeah. So yeah, it escaped. So yeah, they're just running. They're having a little football here. After I guess they behaved too well, so it's just a little reward. Why are there so many kids? Because this is how you raise kids. You drop them into the gym and forget for 2-3 years. Well, jokes aside, this is just a kids class, so they're gonna be over relatively soon, I assume. Yeah, they will. But anyways, gonna have a sip of water one more time. I'm gonna go get my gloves. I'm gonna do the boxing, the drill on the boxing bag. What's your go-to-go combo? Well, it depends, but I think because I want to get in. For example, combos like jabbing, even just putting it and kind of showing even in front of the bigger opponent, they might think she's just like, there's no way she can out-jab me. But that's the thing, I try to push it, and then I get in, and then from here, boom, 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 like stomach, and then we like going on the side. Or for example, like same thing, going up, shift, boom. So once I'm here, cut the angles. Those are kind of the go-to combos. Damn, the school holidays. Yeah, I know, guys. I know. All right. Getting ready there. Getting ready there. Okay. So you gotta enjoy this. Up, passing the ball. Alright. Actually, I'm gonna start 24 seconds. So I'm gonna start exactly on the minute. So I have the exact 20-second intervals here. Alright. Let's do 30, 25 seconds. That should be a good range. 20 seconds. Alright. Getting ready. 10. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here we go. Three. And time. Ten more. 5. Okay, so I think that was 5. So let's see what's going on. She's conditioning. Yes, I'm conditioning. Okay, Chris, my husband says, super common gets you first kick out, then the bank. So if you want to say super cheat, there are consequences. Yes, they are, guys. Let's be respectful and let's not spam. Because of that being loud, you want me to demonstrate technique? Well, I don't beat kids. Actually, I don't know what about you. Doesn't really bother me that much, but that might be over soon. Whew. Hooks. Yeah, I'm gonna do it again with just a little break. So, yeah, ideally I can go, like I should go even longer, but I'm gonna pace it a little bit and gonna go back to, let me see, in the 40 seconds. Let me just drink water. Okay, 20 seconds to go. 15. There's one nuance. You can go still keep going faster and closer, or you want to try to pace and extend your arms. So it's up to you. Okay.
Давай, молодец. Давай, у нас минутка осталась. Все, молодцы.
Two seconds. 3.
Готовы? Давай. Так, поближе подойдите сюда. Все поближе сюда. Поближе, Лёва. Подойдите. Давай. Все, давай. Раз. 2. 3. Поехали. Все, молодцы, дружно сейчас делать. Теперь все больше себя. Берем. Все, готовы?
Okay, hold pause, guys.
Счет 3. Давай.
This is super annoying, but also I'm fucking nauseous. So it's from my French.
Давай. Все, слабо. Я одной рукой буду.
A bit nauseous.
Давай, сочнее.
In the meantime, look at the kids. I mean, there is a mirror, I know, but that's quite funny.
Одновременно дергай. Давай. Еще.
I'm a little too close to kids, yeah.
Молодцы.
Yeah, kids are scary, they can be super dangerous.
Все, время.
Yeah, they won. Kids won. As always. Now they're celebrating by walking on the walls. Whew.
Все, строим.
I felt bad for Chris. Looks like the man hasn't won an argument till date. I'm the one who apologizes usually. Because that man is big and very strong-willed, but I love him to the death. She's just conditioning. Yeah, like as you see on the power combos, I just went from hooks. This time it's just 1-2, simple, and I try to pivot backwards. So I'm not just like 1-2. I was like 1-2, because those are, for example, this is the combo that you would use. It's like boom, boom, and potentially a knockout or heavy damage. You know, so it's not matrix thing all the time. It's grinding and brawling and pushing it, pressuring your opponent many, very often times.
10 раз выпрыгиваем. Раз.
What's happening? Just boxing training, just a casual boxing training, guys.
5,
I love your box. Thank you, I appreciate it.
8,
Okay, I'll drink a little bit more water and I'll continue.
7,
I'll tie my hair a little bit better, so I'll do a few more rounds on this one.
5, 6, ногам молодец. 7, 8, 9, 10. И встаем в планку. Планку 30 секунд встаем. Вот так. Раз,
Okay,
2,
make sure that it's not falling off, okay?
6,
This should be good.
7, 8,
Clip it like this,
10,
should be
11,
strong enough.
12, 13, 14, 15,
Oh, in our house it's a nice
17,
patriarchy. We don't argue much because I lead proper old school values.
2, 3,
Except unboxing. That means not old school in everything, but
9, 10.
you know how it works. Strong men, you know, strong women want stronger men, right? So they can lead, take care of stuff. So I'm you know, being more caring, relaxed, but we both work together towards our goals and we help each other, support each other. And basically we do things, we even have the same goals. So it's not like we have separate jobs, separate career paths, or literally we're just not like, how you can argue on the ship if you know that if you argue with the captain or if your captain doesn't treat you well, the ship is gonna sink, right? So this is how it is. Sparring, yeah, I started sparring. I did sparrings back in Georgia and it was good. I felt comfortable, but obviously my stamina, there's a lot of things that needs to be polished. But if you put me, and for someone who is like a classic, you know, like a good, competitive, physically as prepared as I am, I think I have chances. Because I sparred with active girls actually, the ones that are competing at this point. How long do you usually work out every day? It's not about one duration of the workout. It's about the whole, the attitude of it. Like some days I don't work out because I recover, but I always walk. If we can, we try to swim. We have the ocean or pool or something. So even when it's relaxing, it's active. We go get massage, eat well. But sometimes we do grease the groove, so we still find a pull-up, hang on it, do a couple pull-ups and move on. So this is kind of how we do it. But anyways, guys, let me do it. Let me move back to it, okay? So yeah, let's do a few more rounds like this. My hair shouldn't drop anymore. Вы молодцы, конечно. Я говорю, вы молодцы, конечно, с детьми. Я раньше тоже тренировала детей, это сложно. Как зовут? Диана. Очень приятно. Мне тоже. Тамим. Бум. Бум. Good. Good job. Okay. Бокс. Просто бокс. Ну, думаю, может, в Таиланде, может, здесь даже, если кто-то будет. Здесь просто я не вижу девушек особо, а в Таиланде именно по боксу. Профессиональному боксу и собираюсь там. Я из Грузии, Тбилиси. Да. Да. Да? Как понравилось? Да? А, а, классно, интересно. Ну, мы там тоже были сейчас пару месяцев назад. Мы просто сейчас несколько секунд осталось. Должны начать. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Whew. 2 seconds. I'll do one more. Five. Whew. All right. Let me sit for a second, guys. Whew. Oh man. Looks like she's working hard in technique. Well, today it's technique, not that much of the cardio, not that much of the technique now. But cardio is my weakest thing. I have a good enough technique to pull it off, you know, but I need to have a good enough stamina. So most of my trainings right now, whew, except the ones where I showed purposely gonna explain some boxing basics for you guys. This is gonna be my type of trainings. She actually has a power punch when she's hitting the back seriously. Well, that's one thing. Sometimes I'm insecure about it because I feel like, do I really hit hard enough for my weight class and stuff? But well, if you're saying so, go guys. Hopefully, because I want to be a power puncher, but also technically equipped as well. I mean, I did power. Now I inserted power. So in boxing, you have many. I recovered, so I'll show you. In the boxing, you're gonna have a lot of moments, especially when you get tired, when you're there and you don't waste all the energy. You might have just easy punches to the guard, and once the guard opens, then you hit hard. So switching from between like boom, 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 just spacing, and then like two, three power punches. It's important. Well, someone's asking, I'm a woman, why should I be tough and that kind of stuff. Ask my husband, he's going to respond as the man what he thinks about it. Keep scrolling up. Women in USA don't need a gun. It's called carry a gun. Well, I believe even with the gun, to be able to shoot properly, you gotta have the training, right? And still certain body positioning, especially if you train in the field and you want to be ready for the hard times, so you can actually be able to carry ammunition and that kind of stuff. So it's not just, it's good to have it for, like, guns are the best for self-defense, obviously, and for assault as well. Well, who doesn't thought about it? But you gotta have you cannot carry a gun everywhere outside of the US, that's for sure. And you gotta be physically self-prepared. You gotta be able to fast run. You gotta be able to throw a couple punches to be able to kind of push the danger of yourself, both for men and women. You know, so it's like, it's not like which one. Train both. Like you can see one shooting video. When I was back in Georgia, I contacted my friend who do the practical shooting, and they have the whole competitions and stuff. I don't have my own rifle, but like, I mean, I was like, yeah, can I come with you? And he's like, yeah, sure. And he actually invited me to shoot from his own rifle, and we did it, and it was fun. And I still got it. I still remember it. There were times where I did more shooting, and you know, it's always good. But I also encourage you to be physically fit. That helps your mentality as well and your confidence. Did you lose weight? Yeah, a little bit. Русский respect. Yeah, I know Russian. I usually, there are a lot of Russians in this gym. The owners are Ukrainians, Russian. The guys Ukrainian, so it's like husband and wife, and they're super good people, super lovely. So I always I don't talk Russian with everyone. Like back in Georgia, when I see disrespect to the country, when I disrespect the people that like owning attitude, I'm like, no, I don't know Russian, speak English or Georgian or whatever. But when with my friends, with respectful people from Russia or Ukraine or any Russian-speaking country, I'm just paying back with the basic decency, you know what I mean? Yeah, keep scrolling up, guys. Good to have you in the chat. Good morning, Canada. Hi. Hi from Vietnam. For Gervonta and Jake was cancelled, and I'm not so sure. Now I started thinking that Davies was actually planning to do what Tommy Fury did. Actually, no. Despite the paycheck or whatever was the agreement, I think he was going real, and all of a sudden it got cancelled. I don't know what was the reason behind it. I'm glad that it's cancelled because that was the stupidest match up ever. I'm not going anywhere without my gun. People in countries with no guns can come visit me. Well, it's funny because your avatar, I can see you have a cowboy hat. So, oh, cool. If it was allowed in Georgia, trust me, I would wear a gun and I would be highly trained in the shooting. I know how to shoot, but it's not remotely close to actually being super proficient in it. And why? Because our laws don't let you own it that easily. You cannot own. You can own semi-automatic, like Armalite, for example, or Saiga, like the Kalashnikov analogy, the semi-automatic. But you can, because it's like a hunting rifle, and you only can wear it, carry it in a disassembled condition. All the time. And with the pistol, they kind of let you own pistols now, like a Glock and stuff, but you're not allowed to carry it even to the shooting range. So it creates this harder. Obviously, police, criminals, they do that anyways. They're not really. I mean, ones have the license, and then others don't really give a damn about the law. And just the regular people, innocent people who would just want to protect themselves and being able to protect themselves, they don't do it. So they don't have that opportunity. So it is the reality in Georgia, the country, Tbilisi, not the state. Losing stamina in boxing feels like that. You're tired and hard to swallow, want to vomit or faint. Yeah, and your lungs start burn, like everything here, your chest burns so horribly. It's just like But to avoid that, guys, do that. Like, it's better to experience it many times on the training and actually get better at it. And you don't have to do cardio sessions daily. It's actually for like with the right plan. It should be 2, maybe 3 times a week, like those kind of intensive cardios. Like, I'm trying to stick to 2 at least. And for me right now, that's more than enough. Greetings from Maryland, USA. Hi, USA. That's why I love my state, Texas. We also love Texas. We love, never been in Texas, but it's funny, in Europe, I think Europeans, a lot of people call Poland as the European EU Texas. And I guess for a reason, because you guys stand your ground better than others apparently. So respect for that. Yeah, it's super warm here in Vietnam, Nha Trang. Can you show us best combo? Okay, just don't spam. There is no such a thing as the best combo. Every combo becomes the best. The better you execute it, the better it becomes, right? So every combo, obviously there are things that don't make sense and don't work specifically for you, and maybe you should change your plan, but there are certain combos that just work very, very well. And to me, as I showed you before, it's getting in the middle range. So because the ring has the limits, it's uncomfortable to train my style when you have just the open mat. You know why? Because the longer person, the taller person, always going to run away and try to jab you out. They have that space. But in the ring, reality is you pressure them a little bit from all angles. You don't, obviously, you don't let them out. You gradually push them, and once they appear against the ropes, and this is where you keep pressuring them. They try to counter you very often. They try to counter, escape. But what you do is you go there, you go in, and boom, boom. You can switch again. So once you're already there, go to the stomach first, to the ribs, to the stomach generally, bomb. You can even switch one little step. You don't even have to, like, so it's more like the fast boom, 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 like little movement, and bam, to the head, another hook to the head. So it's kind of going from the down, up, sometimes back down, then you can back off or get like a relatively safe distance, but not too long distance unless you want to let them out, right? So it's constant pressure and doing combos like this, you know, obviously jab, you can even switch stances. Sometimes that is super uncomfortable for a lot of boxers and they don't expect you to do that. So you're like, bum, 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 bum. For example, don't be open, obviously get on hand, don't go too far, then switch the stance, bum, bum, all of a sudden. Like, keep them pressuring. If you're tired of moving too much of this, just get there, bum, bum, when they open. So just make sure you pressure them, make sure you play down, up, but also reflect their punches. You know, let the sleep, obviously, don't just stand here. There's no point of trying to pressure someone just like this. Obviously, you do like that, all of a sudden they throw, bum, 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 no, bum, bum. Then usually when they throw punch, they end up open in those moments, right? When you expect that, try to, or the same hand, bum, bum. Just that's like the closest distance you can do. It's not exactly the combo, but it's more like the approach. Okay, Shama, of course, Shama, always. Okay, I'm timing out someone here with some stupid question. Here we go. Guys, be reasonable. I'm not doing a backflip. All of my attempts for having any professional career are gonna end on this mat if I do it. I can do cartwheel. I think I can. I still got it. I'll try it. I'll try it. I don't know. Was it good? Was it good enough? Yeah, thanks, Chris. Y'all be, how you say? Y'all be nice, dang. Oh, that was horrible. Sorry. I love country accent, by the way. I do. It's like you almost gotta just hold your nose like this. I sing Karate Kid, but no, I'm not doing that. I'm from Georgia. I can, yeah. Thanks for asking in chat, but yeah, I'll tell you myself. No, the Streamlabs thing still won't working properly. Well, yeah, I met one person through the other live stream. So he contacted me, and we started working around it, and he gave me some solutions which partially worked, but then some things didn't. So still looking into it. He said that he's gonna test it himself, then send me the video. So we're working towards it, but at the same time decided to not do it on the expense of the YouTube. Sometimes we can get obsessed with stuff and, like, you know, rather researching or trying to fix things, but you know, I'm just gonna keep live streams on, and we're gonna keep doing it. And in a hey, 1 second. Эй, привет! Как дела?
Хорошо, с возвращением.
Спасибо. Джиу-джитсу, да? Девочек не нашли? Окей. Не, ну если есть, то так. Ну, если сломали, да, ну походу вес все-таки свое делает, там как не хочешь. Ладно, хорошо. Yeah, sorry. So the friend, the owner of the gym, by the way, he's down from BJJ class. As I said, the guy's Ukrainian, speaks Russian. A lot of guys speak here Russian, and I quite often speak Russian in this place. Oh yeah, да, конечно. Да. А там даже в камере не видно. Не видно. Yeah, the guy is like, oh, can I go? He's like, of course. It's like, there, oh yeah, you couldn't see him, right? So. I have sent some essays from ChatGPT. Yeah, I mean, we tried that one too, and I don't know, like, looking into it. Yeah, I appreciate you sending that, by the way. Hey, I just suck. Could I get shout out to my test? Mike Hoskins. I'm always trying to read out those names because some people try to prank. Anyway, shout out to Mike, okay? Want a boxing combo. Okay, you will get one in a second. Are you Ilya Taporia fan? I don't like the word fan. I admire him, I like him, and I cheer for him as the Georgian. Same as for Mirab. Okay, so one of the boxing combos. Well, what you can train, guys, and it's universal for everyone, basically, both tall and short people. It's like a, you know, throwing straight punches, but I would love to mix, like, let's say jab, hook, uppercut, and this is like a long or medium middle range. So you know, you don't necessarily have to go like too close. You do like, oh shit, fuck. Did you see that? Did you see that? Okay, before I do combo, did you see that? The big ass rat just running through the mud. Елена, извини, пожалуйста, тут крыса вот такая пробежала прям туда. Оттуда? Вот прям отсюда. Yeah, because it's Vietnam, guys. It's an open gym, right? And that's the problem with the stupid rats. They are like they try to hide. They usually don't run around, but on the streets, like cats run and cross your way. This is how rats do. Rats and cockroaches. That's okay. You didn't see it. Probably didn't. You couldn't see it in the camera, but yeah, it's just like this size. Was that round there? Yeah, that's cool. Come on. Давай, бери. Solid ball from the kid. Well, even rats work out there. Yeah, that's why it was big ass one. Can't keep scrolling up. Yeah. Оп. Окей, ты не хочешь, чтобы я думала, ты хотел, чтобы я отбивала. Ладно, я не буду. Хорошо, я не отобью больше, хорошо? Все, давай, кидай в ту сторону, давай. Не в него, туда. С ним поиграть хочешь? Ну вот. Yeah, the kid wants to play the other guy there. Okay, but I was showing the combo, right? So the combo is jab, hook. You see that's a long hook. You can always control the range. Middle range, long range, and uppercut, right? So let's go middle. Pum, pum, pum. Like this. Pum, pum, pum. And jab, hook, uppercut. This is full left hand. You can go roll after. And one more hook. Okay? Молодец. Jab, hook, uppercut. I can do the cartwheel as I said. How that would work? Jab, hook, uppercut, and then you go like boom. Yeah. No, thank you. Petr Yan is the best boxer. I mean, he's definitely having a solid boxing. I think Petr Yan is one of the most well-equipped fighters in the bantamweight, but it's also you have better boxing. I mean, Topuria's boxing is really, really cool. Actually, I think a lot of people don't mention that, but Holly Holm, a female, the one who beat Ronda Rousey, she's known for that by a lot of UFC fans. But she spent like 10 years in UFC, and prior, for many years, for more time, she was in the boxing, and she's like a champion in the welterweight, according WBC, WBA, WBO, 2 times Ring Magazine champion, and yeah, she's actually the only double titled, like she was titled, holding a welterweight title in the boxing, the world boxing, as a world boxing champion, and became a UFC champion. So that's quite cool. Holly got them kicks too. Yeah, Holly's kicks are holy moly. Well, I love her. She's one of my favorites. Super cool, super humble, super hardworking. Seems like to be very sweet and has. I love Manny Pacquiao boxing skills. So Manny Pacman is, again, apart from his boxing, the guy is a legend. But his boxing style, super fast, super explosive. The weight class champion. Like he's been a champion in different weight classes. So he was so malnutrition. He started so low. I don't even remember which weight was that. And then he went up to like a bantamweight, lightweight bantamweight. like a boxing lightweight bantamweight. Ilya is on to something by training the different disciplines separately. Oh yeah, that's one of the good approaches. But same goes for even if you just take one discipline and you focus different sessions or different parts of the training on those things. For example, instead of just doing like shadow boxing like this, throwing jab, no, like perfecting jab, like making it perfect. A lot of professional boxers, the elite level boxers, do the same thing. They just take one combo, one movement, just one single punch, they work on it. I think same goes for wrestlers, same goes for everyone else. So rather than just try to put everything together straight away and just, like kind of work it out as a mess, it's better to split it down. And even when you reach a higher level, you still go down to those basics and you train and like carve and polish those single movements. So that's why I think that method works for UFC, for MMA as well. If you don't just do MMA training, you go train Greco-Roman wrestling with the Greco-Roman wrestlers, and you train. Well, obviously, you can adapt it partially to MMA, and the task has to be done to become better in MMA game. But at the same time, those movements, it should be like purely executed from in that setting. And same for boxing, and same for then you take kickboxing or Muay Thai as the full-size striking, and then you have BJJ as the ground and pound and all that kind of stuff, Crawford, Pacquiao, amazing. Yes, true. Crawford's like nowadays is one of the best boxing IQs. Like him or dislike him, like his like form, how he does that. The guy is fluid. It's like the best way to describe him and his style. Look at this Cuban fighter, Oscar Iglesias. Cubans are great, especially amateur boxing. Cubans are very strong, like a very strong team. Also Iglesias, I actually seen that guy. I haven't watched his full fight, but I've seen some highlights and super cool. But as I said, Cubans have that. Also Cuba is depending. Sometimes they train in US and they have that opportunity to kind of train and live in US. But the Cubans, they're from Cuba, still they're still quite strong boxers, considering their environment that they're living in. Yeah, keep scrolling up, guys. Back in the gym, take care of everybody. Yeah, why not? But range is important too. But Mike Tyson was the second shortest armed in the heavyweight. Well, that's the thing. There are two different techniques. If you are already blessed with the height and the long range, all you need to do is actually properly learn. Like your dominating style gonna be on the long distance, a lot of straight punches, a lot of pivoting, and a lot of footwork, like back and forth, a lot of side steps. Defensive footwork and defensive styles combined with the offensive style as well. So it depends. I mean, varies from the boxer to boxer, but this is like a common characteristics for taller boxers. When the shorter ones, the only chance for the success is to get to that literally around here, on the armpit. So because the longer a person has the arms, the harder they're gonna try to clinch you and they're gonna try to hold you. But that's the thing, you just push them out enough, but you don't go too far, so you can slip some punches. You can get some of the gloves. You wait them on to the point when they open. Boom, for example, boom, boom. You play the game closer, so you control it there. It's your as a shorter boxer, this is your natural habitat. But at the same time, it doesn't have to be like you. It doesn't mean you shouldn't have a footwork. What as the shorter boxer you still can do is, and that's what Tyson been doing. He's been doing the Matishis, and then you have Lomachenko who's been doing that too. You do like this, boom, boom, and all of a sudden you sleep, but instead of just sleeping and punching back, you just completely switch the angle, and it works because this is the range you're doing, and all of a sudden that hook goes right, straightly to the face, and has that knockout potential as well. So pressure, but still some defensive elements. You cannot just pressure like this, right? You still have to have, actually as the closer range boxer, you have to have, yeah, Tyson was super aggressive, but if you see, he's been training like peekaboo and sleeps like separately quite a lot. You know, you've seen him doing that. And there are a lot of moments that, yeah, like people watch Tyson punching and knocking out people, and it's like, wow, he's such a puncher. But they don't pay attention to his technique, how he always goes, peekaboo style is like, you don't have to relax too much forward. It's almost like, because you gotta switch the legs while you're moving very often. So it's almost a frontal stance, and it is heavily relying on the core, a little bit with the legs, and always after sleep, always punch, sleep, punch, bump, 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 bump. You know, something like this. So he has defense with the offense, but still a relentless pressure. So that's what, yeah, I've been ranting about now. Specialized training makes you a killer. Not that I'm a very good fighter overall, but because I only train right low kick, my right low kick is devastating. Oh yeah, you don't want to get like lower kicked by Chris, that's for sure. I love easy strikes, especially the way he knocked out Poatan. That's just unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, easy was. Considering that he was an underdog, and like his timing was great, and I think it was not an accident. He had this, like he was waiting for the moment, he was asking for that moment. It was super impressive, super cool. Yeah, easy is great, and I love their rivalry. I love that period, 2020 something until 2024, basically. Keep scrolling up, guys. Are you champion? I used to be a Georgian champion in 2017 or 2018. I don't remember exactly. I was the Georgian national champion. But since then, I did some 5 fights in amateur boxing. I lost 2 and won 3. One of those is the one I won on the national team. Georgian nationals, and then yeah, that's it. I mean, I had the other open ring experiences and fights and stuff, so I have more experience than my 5 official fights. But then I retired, and now I'm looking into getting back to fighting, or getting back to the professional, actually starting professional record, and just do that in my own pace, and you know, share my journey here on YouTube. Did you see what Ronda said about Joe Rogan? Yes, and I mean, she's doing that to herself at this point. She's just being super salty now to people, and I loved how Valentina Shevchenko actually stood up for Joe. She said like he's a good professional, and he's good, like understands martial arts very well, and a great man, great example for you. So like the difference is in the attitude, you know what I mean? And Joe Rogan was praising Ronda. He was actually quite delusional about her. He was like, "Oh, I believe she can beat Floyd Mayweather in MMA or something like that kind of thing." He was saying that he really believed that Ronda could beat many bantamweights, like male bantamweights and stuff like that. This is how hyped she was, and as much she was a pioneer and she was cool, but she went too much in that persona, and it absorbed her. That she still cannot get over the fact that people don't hate her because she lost against the Holly Holm and Amanda Nunes. People dislike her because she's just saying stuff, and she's being she's being saying things about the MMA community, then WWE community. Everyone kind of hates her, and it's everyone is an idiot. So you just don't treat people like that. It just doesn't work. Okay, I keep scrolling up. Is boxing okay after 40-year-old? If you train for yourself, absolutely yes. If you want to go professional, I don't know. Maybe you can still do in your age class, in your weight class. But usually in boxing, like in the BJJ, it's easier. You actually have an age category, the weight category. That's why a lot of people move to BJJ if they want to keep going competitive in some sport. Boxing unfortunately doesn't have it that way, but I would not recommend because it's getting hit in your head, and depending what is your weight class and all that kind of stuff. And if you are like a boxer who's been professional boxer and you keep going over 40, yeah, you might be in the shape and that kind of stuff, but again, like I wouldn't do it. They're a legend, like Manny Pacquiao now, Bernard Hopkins, the George Foreman, Holly Holm now, she's gonna have a boxing match. There are many boxers that just they fight over 40. I mean, Floyd Mayweather, but the guy's smart. He's barely getting hit in his head, I think, ever. Not that often, at least. But yeah, it depends what is your setting. I would like when I'm 40, I would love to probably pass on the legacy, teach others. Maybe do something else competitively. Maybe, I don't know. I was thinking that it would be super cool to learn an American, like a ninja sport thing, you know, hanging like a monkey on the things and develop that level of the relative strength. Like there's so many sports you can still compete in. Track and field is great, super for athletics, and you have age classes, at least in some countries. So I would move from the combat sports from the certain point, if you know what I mean. If I want to be competitive, there are other ways, places that you can get competitive and, you know, kind of satisfy your need for the competition. Yeah, Chris is responding and engaging in the chat here a little bit. If you don't control your ego ends up owing you. Yes, exactly. And ego it's like a self-reflection, and in the way that it's not your ego. You gotta be smart about it. You gotta have your brain and understanding how to deal with people, how to interact, how to be likable, how to be able to attract people. So they want to be around you. They want to protect you. They want to stand for you. You know what I mean? When you get swelled with your own ego, you become a little bit stupid. Like I will say directly, it literally affects your ability to think straightly. And unfortunately, some people are so deep in it. I'm not talking necessarily about Rhonda. How is she? Like she might be a wonderful person with her family and stuff. But I'm just saying that there are people who are just super absorbed into it, and you can even feel it. You can feel how their ego is so fragile. You just almost like they're children, and you know, very hard to deal with them. Oh, careful with the ball. Georgian athletes keep bringing talents to the world. What they do differently there? I don't know. I think it's just Georgians been physically strong, and there are certain sports that they're quite prominent. We are quite prominent. It's just now a matter of publicity and gradually, you know, getting into it, gradually getting recognized. GDM versus Islam 50-50. Looking forward to that fight. I don't know which way it goes. I'm 43. A box might not go pro, but still a great way to stay in shape. That's what Chris says. 5 Clarity Shield is gonna kick my ass, and that's a different weight class. Oh, careful! Осторожно, не ударься. Нормально все? Yeah. Okay, let me show you what's happening here. Trust me, it's not the big rat. It's just this little fella. That's the son of the gym owner, the guy in the BJJ pants, and he's just being like a rock ball, and he literally smashed the phone holder with his face. So this is how kids do, you know. I just run and just like, are you okay? And it's like, yeah, I'm okay. I literally hit it at full speed. One day I will send my kids to your academy. It would be super cool. Okay, Texas says, how about being a wife? And my husband actually responds, she's a great wife. And I'll say right here, and my husband is a great husband too. So guys, maybe obviously try to find a great wife, or good wife, or good woman, and she will become great if you're good to her too. So maybe you also try to be a little bit better. She balances it very well. Oh, that's okay. Now I'm gonna blush. Oh, okay. It's heating up here in the chat section, fellas. Yes, it's annoying dealing with people who have ego. We all have egos. We all have egos. It's kind of a natural thing, but it's about how you work it through. Reality check, being able to, sometimes you gotta turn off your ego. You gotta be able to control it to an extent, because what if you want to learn something and you go to submit to someone superior to you, a master who's gonna teach you something, right? Who you have to follow and submit to them. If you have your ego there, like if you don't try to control it, if you don't practice it, it's just not gonna work. And that's the difference. Some people just never try, never do it, and they, as the result, they never want to be in the situation that they actually learn and progress, because they cannot stand the idea that someone might be smarter, better, more experienced. But in reality, that's the biggest blessing that we can have, that we learn from each other and we can teach things to others, but we also can be taught things. Good luck, Texas. Do you recommend sparring? Tony Jeffries had a very good video about it, how to do it smart, even as a preparational stage. If you want to do competitive, you need sparrings, but I'm still for a technical sparring, more like replicating speed instead of the power. Obviously, you can go harder on the core, you can go harder on the hands, like you want to go through. But when let's say one punch goes through, or like 1-2, for example, unlike the fight, you can go in, but instead of, when you see that you already got the person, instead of trying to knock the shit out of them, you continue firing them, but lighter. And that's the difference. That's what makes different with actual professional fighters who have experience and understanding that, okay, we can recreate it, we can have heavier moments, but we don't try to kill each other. Or sometimes we even stop, we just do boom boom, it went through, okay, that means that's my mistake. It means rather my hands are too down, or I move backwards, you know, I panic. So ideally you stop, you pause, I mean not stop, but you pause, and your coach gives you this thing. You see, this is this is how sparring should be. Sparring should be a learning experience. Sparring should be something that you enjoy doing, because when you enjoy doing it, you actually learn. And then you can have a moments there. You can have a moments where you have a harder sessions, and that should be rare, because your brain is, you have a one brain, and you cannot risk to really end up in a very bad situation. Unfortunately, with the wrong way of sparring, with the wrong attitude towards it, there was this girl in Mexico, young girl, 17 years old, just 2 months into boxing. She passed away. She got some heavy blows to her head from the, so it was the wrong matchup from the coach. It was the wrong attitude from her sparring partner, Because if I have like when I trained with someone, when I have to spar with someone, it doesn't matter if it's a girl or boy, who are just training for 2 months, and even if they have goal, even if they want to go professionally over time, it's just 2 months, right? You need to treat them like you need to help them to learn, help them to get comfortable, and gradually build it up, right? So unfortunately that thing happened. Rest in peace to that poor girl. But you know what I mean. So I recommend spar, do the drills, but communicate with your opponent, communicate with your coach. Be open about it. I'm not wasting my health here. Like on the training, I'm here to train, to prepare for an actual fight if I'm trying to go competitive, right? And everyone who is helping you, they should help you, not the ego competition here, okay? Okay, and keep scrolling up, guys. Я из Грузии. I'm from Georgia. I speak sometimes. Hey, I speak Russian with the guys here, but I do my YouTube in English. Tell you have a good head on your shoulders. I can tell you're a good woman, but by how you represent yourself and your man. I appreciate it, thank you. And well, same goes for my husband. He's here supporting me, but supporting me not in the way that I'm the one, the cool one. He's like, we're both super cool. So it's just, he doesn't want to be on camera that much. Like, trust me guys, he's super fascinating person. He's been through hell. Like, if there is anything manlier than that, obviously there are people who, but that's the thing, a man who went through the struggles, through the war, through the hell, gets into, evolves in a different way, right? So yeah, my husband is amazing. It's just his choice. He wants to be more on the background. He wants to help me with the technical stuff, and well, I'm the face of this YouTube, but yeah, you gotta be both great towards each other, guys. Otherwise, it's just you rather bring each other up and bring the best out of each other, or or на меня не кидай, а что туда кидай? Все. Yeah. I basically said what I was still supposed to say. Okay, I want to see your jab, cross, uppercut. Okay, that's a good one. Okay, so we have jab, and I throw jabs like, because I'm shorter, I teach myself to keep my hands higher, even when I do boxing back. You see, I'm not going here, I'm going from, because this is most likely going to be the face of my opponent. And it's better to be right here rather than, you know, like get used to punching too low and then, you know, struggling to keep your hands higher. So what I do jab, cross, and uppercuts, like from here, because I already leaned down. As I said, that's another thing I like to do. Instead of punching like this, having my head, I already sleep a little bit. It's like boom, boom, and it's like a perfect angle for a perfect position for the hip. Boom! I just rotate, just boom, throwing up. And there's you can sometimes you leave here on the front leg, but there's the other way. Boom! So you boom, you go back right on your back leg, and that allows you to faster back off in that moment. There's also another way, which the one that I like, you jab, and what you do, I'll show you the movement, but then I'll show you how you do it. So you do jab. Oh yeah, I gotta show you this first. This is kids. Look. Ah! Yeah, kids being kids. They're always gonna be kids. I mean, it's gonna grow up, but kids always be kids. You're making me want to go to the gym right now, so maybe that's what you should do. Are you a foodie? Oh, I love eating, that's for sure. how to lose fat as the middle class, a calorie restriction, which is easy. If if you're already struggling affording enough. Anyways, jokes aside, it's actually better to have a good quality food and control the calorie consumption. But at the end of the day, it goes calorie in, calorie out. Then obviously the even more important part is the nutrition that you are getting in. Yeah, bare knuckle is not fun and I don't like it. Yeah, that's crazy. Somebody really beat that girl so badly to death and she was the new boxing. Yeah, it's horrible. But as I said, it wasn't necessarily that someone like she was like beating her up, but even few, as I said, even power wise, when you have someone do it 2 months, you don't hit them full force like I just did that with that back. You don't do that. No, guys, you gotta learn. Like everyone who's sparring and you have sometimes says, "Oh, let me go heavy." No, you don't. Agree with your partner. That's the first thing. And also, sometimes, not sometimes, very often, you have people who are brave and they train. They come to training and they say, "Go heavy on me," and they tell that guys who are bigger, and they're like, "Oh, okay." No, you tell them, "No, you don't. You don't go heavy," or you just control yourself. You kind of show them as heavy as you you go as heavy as you decide to go, right? Like you gotta be smart about it, and you always have to calculate a few things. One of it is the weight class. The first one is experience actually. So what kind of experience you have. And even though you have a super professional and you both are super good, even there, when you have the moments, let's say you got 3 punches in, right to your face. In a real fight, obviously that person would go for a knockout. In the sparring, your sparring partner rather stops, or to replicate that situation, the pressure, they continue. They can still go heavy to your stomach. But they kind of like bump, but just annoy you with the light throwing punches. So you still kind of have so you still try to protect yourself. You know what I mean? There is a major difference in it. There's so many nuances. Oh, my husband says, men's jump is to remove the obstacles due to your way men can shine if that it is an art, sport, or raising a female. He means woman. I mean, he meant about me because that's what we say. He likes me to shine. Like I ended up to be quite curious, talented person in some things. You know what I mean? Except math and technical stuff. This is the Chris's area. He's way better at it. But when it comes to art, music, boxing, like sports like that, I look at it as an art, to be honest. So yeah. This kind of things, he just tries to always bring me up. He always encourages me to do things. And when I'm scared and when I'm insecure, he's the one. No, you're doing it. You're doing it not only for yourself, for both of us. Obviously, if you're very close and if you decide that you're gonna go on the same ship together, you're not gonna sink that ship. It's always whatever either of you does. It's going to benefit both. It's going to benefit the family. And then when you have kids, it's going to benefit kids as well. So I think that should be the attitude from the beginning. Once you really meet the right person, and the right person doesn't mean perfect person. It's just a person who have a similar views, similar values, similar characteristics, personality, traits that are, you have to be similar in some things, but also you have to be opposite in something so you can actually bring the value for each other and make each other stronger, right? So so Chris, that's his choice. He thinks, and I agree with him. I'm absolutely loving it. So he wants to bring me up, help me to shine, to do my best, and I want the same for him. He's doing a lot of things, a lot of technical, a lot of stuff that is requires a lot of critical thinking and creative thinking and solutions. He's like, providing those things for us, and I'm also like trying to provide the comfort and peace, and when you have a best friend by your side, and that's like there are no conflicts, no fights, no nagging. It's about just, you got this, and it goes both ways. Even though it might be, for me, it's more like being here on YouTube, doing my fights, creating some art, like networking with people, and for him, building up crypto, setting up us financially from his side, and doing a lot of background work that is like the backbone of everything we do. So yeah, I wish you all guys could find someone who is who can be like that. And there are many people like you see people like that sharing their stories more on the part of the internet where this like one inspirational story of the very good couple that there was like trouble and they did not leave, and they like pushed through together, and they never left each other, never let each other down. And then you open comment section and you see a lot of hundreds and hundreds of people saying, oh, like my wife, she was like taking care of kids, she was amazing, she got paralyzed, and now I'm I help her, and she's like she's still there, she still does the best, but now I pull a lot together. I mean, one of the husbands says, but still refuse to give up on that person, or vice versa, when a man is full provider, but then something happens to their health and woman becomes a full provider, because they're not gonna leave their man, because it's not just being man and woman to each other, it's a family. How can you give up on a family? Some people apparently do, but it becomes it's such a strong bond. It goes way beyond just having relationship and attraction and all that kind of stuff. It really goes beyond that, guys. Okay, keep scrolling up. Flinching, you mean like going forward, like this? I'm not sure if that's what you meant, but that is a common problem, falling forward. Okay, and newbies have that problem. They go like this, and they're like like falling forward on the front leg. It's slightly different in the kickboxing and Muay Thai, because there the legs are involved, so positioning is a little bit different. But in boxing, 60-70% of your weight, I'll show you from the side, goes on the back leg. So I'm not standing like this, not on my front leg. I barely feel any weight on my front leg. I go on my back. Rotation, obviously you can have a frontal, but even here it's like you have to have that strong center. And what you do from this position, let's say this is the punch, right? If I go on the front, this is my limitations. I cannot do anything else. But at the same time, if I go backwards, there is like the big gap. But the beauty of this stance is you keep your body, you create the illusion that your body is far. In reality, your front leg is kind of sneaking in, and what you do is like boom, all of a sudden, boom. Or even without it, let's say you go in the cross, like you throw the fake jab or a real jab, and then you are, because that leg is here, you boom, you see, shortening that range. So you get this position for the stability, and obviously for being able to move your body slightly forward, slightly on the side, backwards, weave. But at the same time, you learn how to move in, move backwards with that position. Obviously, it goes from the other side as well. So you don't flinch anymore, because you have a distance control through your upper range, but also through your legs as well. Okay, keep scrolling up. Hi to everyone, guys. I love how aware you are of the real world. Thank you for your realness. Appreciate it. I mean, we gotta start being real earlier or later, right? I do believe there so much fakeness now in the world, in social medias. We need to start changing that dynamic, and meaning that more and more people need to start showing their stuff. It doesn't have to be exactly, it doesn't have to be fake or like, perfect. That's why I like channels like camping, and I like channels like a couple deciding to build a house, and I like those kind of channels because I'm invested. These are just regular people. They're not trying to influence you. All they do is share their real life out of the social media, right? They do the editing stuff, but I do believe that they spend most of their time with their family, and they share part of it with in social medias, in the internet with us, right? Same what I do. I just share my trainings. I just share some of the traveling, some of the conversations I have with you guys, and I'm as much of a person as you are. The most important thing, Chris, my husband, says, is we're pulling in the same direction, common goals, and understand that we both have our strengths and we need to complement each other. Yes, that's, couldn't say that better. You suggest my meal schedule. That's a hard one. It's a little bit of almost like it's super individual, right? It depends. Some people eat a few times a day. Sometimes I like eating twice or sometimes once a day. And because I'm smaller, I still can meet my nutritional requirements, but also that's good for me. Easier to keep the deficit if I need to cut, and for maintenance as well. I love eating, so I love bigger meals, and I prefer to have a bigger meal and do it less. Some people prefer opposite, but it also depends. If you're a big guy, you pretty much can eat few times and still have a struggle to meet your nutritional requirements depending on your goals. So it's like another live stream. I'm gonna make another live stream on that topic. And Chris says, focus on protein. Yes, of course you gotta focus on protein, but at the same time, protein is not the only thing. We need as much as we need protein. I'm not saying we need something else more. No, protein is one of the core ones. We need healthy fats, we need probiotics, we need fiber, we need micronutrients that comes usually from the plant-based foods, meaning like vitamins and minerals. So we need all of it, and if we don't have enough of it, we need to supplement to have those essential molecules in our bodies. Your footwear is really, really good. So what is your advice on drills to practice to get good on the footwork? Well, first for the basic training, I'll just show you quickly. I can make another live stream on that, and I already done that before, but now I'll do a little bit shortly. So establish your stance, which is like, this is orthodox, this is southpaw. Get comfortable, and basically what you need to learn first, the basics, is moving step by step, forward, backwards. So when you go forward, you start from the front foot, obviously, because that just makes sense, and then you go with the back foot. Sometimes I actually do pump, pump, pump. Like when I back off, I don't do pump, pump, pump. Like I just don't like it. For me, pump, pump, pump. This is way faster. So I kind of do cross foot. Boom, boom, boom. You can do that way too when you get more advanced. But in the beginning, you need to learn how to move, right? So you do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then you add the sides. 1, 2, 1, 2. Obviously, you go to the left, you start from the left. You go to the right, you start from the right. That one is like 100% because you don't want to have a cross foot, okay? You don't want to do that in the boxing. Then you can go diagonally. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You see? And then here, when I want to go other side, I shift a little bit, okay? Or I can change the stance. But changing stance is a little bit more advanced stuff. So I would just, from here you will think, oh, how do I go that direction? Like, do I go like this? Yeah, you can go like this, it's fine. But you're like this, the front leg should be like a navigator, okay? So you can always shift a little bit and do the same like this, pum, 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 okay? Then obviously you learn how to bounce a little bit, pivot, one, like shadows and pivot, one. Obviously you can add with all of that kind of stuff, you can add punches as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are many drills. And then you have drills like, I like to do side to side. And this is what I do, bump, bump. This one is a little bit more advanced. You can do that more later on. If you're going from the basics, you need to learn to the directions without breaking your stance first. Okay, keep scrolling up. I think they meant flinching as reacting to feints from an opponent. Okay, because there's like a slipping, feigning, you know, and flinching. Okay, so yeah, there's sometimes the moments when my English gives me a little error, like I couldn't identify the word flinching. All right, so flinching as like a sleeping. So if it means flinch reacts to the feints from an opponent, is reacting to feints of the opponent. Feints of the opponent. So if the opponent is feinting, I still don't understand what you mean flinching exactly, because I don't know what it means. I really don't. Funny enough, but this is now a kind of a new word for me. Okay, well, if you can describe it in the chat, but I'll keep moving forward. I practice peekaboo. It's been 6 months. Could you give me some pointers? Peekaboo, I mean, one of the hardest styles. After Tyson, I didn't see much, at least famous boxers, being like a clean peekaboo. But the elements of peekaboo are very useful in situations. Basically, it's just first of all, you get your stance loose. Tyson was moving like this. Why? Not because he did not have stance, but because peekaboo works better with the cross foot rather than trying to keep you still can do the same kind of like with the front leg having in the front, but it's not that comfortable. So you gotta relax your leg a little bit more. Boom, 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 boom. So he would do like a stick will work like this. He would bump, and you see he didn't have that much range. He was not going too far. Also, the accent comes a lot on the core, and explains quite thick waist of the Tyson, and because it was not just on the legs, it's too much kind of a waste of the momentum and time for the peekaboo, because it has to be bump, like bump, 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 bump. Obviously there was a footwork, but instead of just going like this in the hip flexors, it goes heavily on the core, right? And well, the best moment, the best time to use peekaboo, I think I can give some of the pointers on that. It's about, it definitely works against taller opponents. And I'll tell you, you're not Tyson, I'm not Tyson, right? So going with peekaboo from one corner of the ring to another is not that easy, right? So you can have just a regular, like a regular stance, or you can even walk. Yes, like here, keep your hands up. But Tyson usually was having like this, but you know, just keep them up. And when you make sure that your opponent is more in the corner, you can always go bum, bum, bum. So because the angles, you always flip, you always punch from the bottom to the up, and then you do again, and then you go again, flip again, so shift the angle, boom, boom. Those punches are super powerful. If you learn how to land them in those right moments, it might be kind of over. Depends on your body complexion. It's going to be harder if you're like a long limb person. It's not impossible. I mean, there are a lot of knockout artists that are taller boxers with longer range. But if you want peekaboo to be super damaging, super knocking out everyone, use that in that moment when you have person in the ropes, and obviously always follow with Peekaboo with the sleeps, always, because that was the one of the principles of it. And a little bit of the angle shift, all of a sudden you are just smashing it right into the face. And yeah, that is, if you're more shorter person and you have like a big muscle density and you're like similar to Tyson body complexion, then you're good. The problem with the classic Peekaboo is the style that counters it is a very good, solid distance work, like a Sonny Liston, like the way Tyson wasn't at his prime, obviously, and there was a lot of things going on in his life, but it doesn't matter. The Peekaboo style, if you counter it with the very strong puncher who is like a boom, like boom, boom. That's why, even though it's like a sleep and stuff, sometimes it's like you might not want to use that same pattern all the time. It might work in the beginning, but the better long range boxer you have in front of you, the harder it's gonna be. So I'm still for flexibility and sometimes a deception. That's why having like the straightforward style like Peekaboo, I would use rather its elements rather than use it for like entire time. And it's also very energy consuming. There is a problem if you actually don't do anything. You're not really able to adapt to your opponent, who is, let's say, a better range striker than you are. Past 5 rounds, you're gonna get exhausted. So that's what I'm saying. But instead of like doing pure Peekaboo, I think it's about identifying the best timings for all of a sudden doing that Peekaboo combo. Okay, but sorry for ranting, and keep scrolling up. Yeah, I'm Georgian. English is my third language, and I appreciate it. But there are words sometimes, every now and then, it's like, what does it exactly mean? Because I kind of know what it means, but also I cannot think about it in the boxing, what that would mean, so I could explain. Flinch is to react to punch or hit, whereas not flinching is unfazed and ignores the hit. So flinching, you mean flinching could be backwards, can be like, you mean like this kind of flinching like that? So that was the question, how to deal with the flinching. Well, that's the thing. Then you have to break your timing. So let's say you throw the punches and your opponent flinches every time you throw a punch, meaning they already read your party. They already know what you're gonna do. And they know the pace, because we don't realize sometimes, but we do 1, 1, 1, 1. And that's a little bit problem in the training too. We get used to it and we do this 1, 1, 1. And instead you would want to do 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. You know, like you want to break your pace, right? So that's why, especially if there is also upper lower sections. Let's say you concentrate too much, like you don't even realize. The less experience you have, the less you realize that you throw hands only to the upper body. Of course, your opponent with more experience or more observing, they're gonna be, okay, I already know what they're gonna do. Try it stomach work. That's why I like very often it works palm. You just like this, boom, and right jab, quite a strong, unpleasant thing to get in your stomach, and quite accumulative. You do it like right in your stomach, boom, and then I raise my hand. Then it's like boom, boom. I do a little bit. They kind of get into the thing, but once they are already bothered with that, for example, your opponent starts to cover the stomach. Guess what? Their hands drop in the face. So what happens? You throw it again, and then you go up and boom, for example, right? So now you kind of start setting the tone. It's actually Tony Jeffers. I mentioned that guy a lot because I watch him a lot as well. He said it very well. If you feel that whatever you do, your opponent feels like they're reacting to everything, and you feel not being able to do what you want to do, and you like feel there is like nothing is working, then it means that you're doing the same repetitive pattern and your opponent already read it through and they kind of know how to counter it, and then gonna go more onto getting more points or even worse on the pressure. But if you realize, okay, I've been doing this, and all of a sudden they are like, okay, now I think you start understanding that, oh, now they just know what I'm gonna do something else. Just try to do something else. Like, boom, go to the stomach. What I started doing this, I started switching to the southpaw, and I'm not the southpaw, I'm not the great southpaw, I'm not the even stance switcher, but I realized that my left cross works. I feel like, to me, it doesn't matter if it's my left jab or if it's my left cross, I feel comfortable to do that movement. And it worked quite a few times because I haven't seen many people do that. What I do, I'm like, bum, bum, let's say, and all of a sudden, I just switch, and I usually I'm not even dropping my hands. I already push. There you have the moment when you push against your opponent's glove or face, or, depends how they are. And you do the same, you kind of extend this hand. You don't even need to punch, you just cover yourself, but all of a sudden, boom. So you do that very fast. You're like, bum, bum, bum. And that usually goes through. Works with the southpaws, by the way. And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, I don't know what to do against it. And that might be the thing that, okay, now you read their pattern, now you found something that works against them, and you try to keep pushing on it pretty much, and try to have it as the primarily, not the combo, but something that really works. You can still jab it out, still do something else, but keep doing it until it works. And if if the boxer does, try to come up with something else. You're great, been watching for 2 minutes, already learned something. Appreciate it, thanks. I'm ranting a little bit, but I'm trying to explain in details. If you could make signature move, scale and body condition wasn't an issue, what would you make? A signature move? As I said, I like the shift, so I would go like bum, 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 and like left with the finish with the left hook. And I think I necessarily don't have conditioning with that. I definitely can do it at least a couple of times in the real fight. I think I can, but you just want to keep getting better. And did you start boxing? It was long ago. It was like 10 years ago. It's like a nervous instinct reaction when you look away or even turn away from your opponent when they feint or throw something. I get nervous when sparring. Okay, so now it's a different explanation. Clinching is basically getting nervous. Well, with that, get the right sparring partner, communicate with them, talk to them, get someone experienced but who don't have that ego thing and they're not trying to be cool in front of you, but they're actually willing to help. And explain to them, okay, I have a problem with this. I'm like, because you need to it's like you cannot jump from the first floor to the 5th floor. You cannot just jump up, right? Let's say your elevator is broken, right? You don't have elevator. You cannot just appear there. What you need to do step by step. You need to get to the 1st floor, then 2nd, 3rd, up until you get to the 5th floor, right? And that includes getting comfortable in it. Because when you get nervous, that means, unfortunately, it's a combination of two. Obviously, it's like a natural instinct. No one is happy to be punched. But also another thing is you're in an environment where it's just like an ego competition and the sparrings turn into fights. And people like you, who are especially beginners, they don't have an environment to properly learn it. Yeah, peekaboo is the proper technique. After 1 minute, feels like you ran a whole marathon. Well, you tell me. Oh my God, thank you so much for your tips on the peekaboo. And yes, I have a similar potential build like Tyson. Okay, then, as I said, try to work out other techniques. Become a fluid boxer, because there's some others. You still can do a lot of other things too, but have a peekaboo as your signature like when you switch to it, you know that you know what to do. And usually it's when you get in that range, you have that person in the corner. But the reason why I told you don't go to like only peekaboo, because as the guy previously said, it's like running the marathon if you do it 1 minute. Like Tyson was actually doing great, but also Tyson's most of his knockouts in his early prime career was knockouts in the first round, so he didn't even have to go too far, right? So preserve your energy. Boxing evolved to the point that a lot of opponents, they know how to work with you. They like look at the Crawford. This type of mentality is getting more and more popular. Preserving your energy, but also executing it when it's the right time, and this is what makes a great boxing IQ. So obviously keep practicing. You still need endurance. Keep practicing. You kill yourself on the gym in certain trainings when you like really need to put yourself to the 4th, 5th zone of the cardio intensity for the further cardiovascular development. But also recover a lot and be smart about it. And definitely use peekaboo as the elements. And yeah, wish you the best of luck. Your suggestion is very, very helpful for my career. Cool. I'm happy to hear that. Who is more popular, Merab, Ilya? Both equally popular. Can keep scrolling up, guys. Someone said good morning, but good morning, it's in US probably right now. Show us your best dance move. Oh, I have many. I have like, I know how to shuffle. I know how to like, anyways, I like dancing. I love dancing. I do different type of dancing, but yeah, that was just a funny one. Shadow boxing, please. Yes, I'll get there. Your Fraser, Peekaboo Masters, and Mike Tyson. Well, according to Casamano, Mike Tyson was the like end product. He was the best. He was like a perfect for it, and obviously they had a very strong emotional bond too. So yeah, it's not Cass. We didn't have Tyson. How fascinating. You like singing? Yes, I do. I even did karaoke. I hosted karaoke nights in the Red Buffalo Sports Bar. Maybe I'll do again. I gotta talk to them. This isn't boxing, but then Sultan Merab, he has been on an insane run. Oh, super huge respect to Merab. I think Merab is a sweetheart. I think he's super hardworking. He journeys. Like, you gotta make a movie about that guy because he actually comes from the poor background. When Ilya's mother is a refugee and her first husband died in a war, and she went through the horrible stuff. But Ilya was born like in Germany, then they lived in Georgia for some time, and then they went to the Spain, right? So they're like more like a middle class. Like Merab really didn't have much, and all his hardworking resilience, how he went to US, how he worked in the construction. I mean, all of the Georgia loves him, and I adore him with all my heart. I cheer for him with all my heart, and I think that everything he got deserved. And what very surprised me, but in a positive way, not like I was shocked, but what I was fascinated by last 3 fights, the guy's evolving. Like now with Steinhagen, the guy, Merab almost knocked out Corey Steinhagen, who is naturally a better striker. So I think he's evolving, he's getting better. There's no point for Merab's opponents to watch his previous fights, because even though, and he takes, like every other event, there is Merab in the main card. Like, isn't it fascinating? The guy did is gonna do a 4th title defense this year, which is insane. This is, I don't know, I think he's just amazing. Were you interested in kickboxing too? I mean, I don't watch boxing fights except if it's like someone I'm really interested into. I watch kickboxing highlights. I've seen some of the fights, like more from the older. I've seen some Benny Jet Urquidez kickboxing fights. I don't know, the guy is just fascinating. First time when I discovered him, it's like I watched his documentary, I watched a couple of his fights. But yeah, I'm not really, mostly I watch at this point UFC and in MMA, and sometimes one championship, sometimes. And boxing, basically boxing events, whatever the, mostly like when you have the big fights and their main cards and sometimes prelims. Yeah, I'm very much confused about weight training for boxing. Please help. Well, definitely try to do once a week, and don't do like a speedy CrossFit style. If you really want to gain strength and don't grow too much of the muscle and don't not gain too much weight, you gotta try to do less repetitions, bigger weights. Obviously, with the safe machines, you can even use machines. You don't need to use the explosive movements like the power killing stuff. It's good, it's great, but at the same time, high risk of injury if you don't know the technique. So there are a lot of things you need to learn technique first. However, if you do like a lat pull downs, the horizontal rows, if you do the shoulder press on hammer machine or just the push press machine, that's great. And just instead of doing like a 15-20 repetition, start doing less than 5, like a 5 repetition maximum, rest longer, like 10 minutes in between. Yeah, it might take you a little bit of your time, but if you do it once a week, just commit a few hours to your gym, go ahead, try it. You can do like a full body, one exercise for each part of the body. But there are also specific trainings that are more, I'm still more of the fan of pull-ups, dips, the landman push, for example, right? A little bit that replicates, you still work with your body weight, and that replicates a little bit of similar patterns. But the principle is still same. 5 repetitions or less, longer periods of breath, and obviously if it's you can do more, well, you gotta put on weight. If you do body weight, you have to put a vest. If you do in the gym, like as I said, very simple on the machines, you gotta increase that weight to the point that, again, 5 is your maximum. So this is how the strength development works. If you really want to focus on the strength, and when you focus on strength, interesting enough, you don't really grow muscles that much. If you want to do hypertrophy training, you go 8, 10 to up to 15, 16 repetitions, or maybe above. But like if you want to get pumped and buff and, give your brain the signal that you want to grow that muscles with all those micro traumas, and you want to go to that muscle failure. In the strengths, you don't necessarily need that. You have that streak, like you do 5 repetitions, you see it's not much, like you can do heavier, so you add up weight, and that's how you do it. And let's say, okay, I can do only 4, well, good. That's what you should do. So in hypertrophy, you go to the muscle failure, it hurts a lot, and your body spikes up those micro traumas, and it results into the growing muscle. Obviously, you increase your strength too, but proportional speaking, it really gives an accent on, shortly saying that's how bodybuilders would train. When if you want to be a boxer and you don't want to really gain too much muscle mass, but you want to get significantly stronger, so that affects your power when you do when you train on the when you do boxing, when you want so you have bigger strength. Obviously you can create a better power through velocity. Then you want to do less repetitions, less than 5 repetitions, longer amounts of rest, no muscle failure. That's what you want to do. You do calisthenics? Yeah, a little bit. Yes, I always wanted him to win. Hate to watch him beat O'Malley first fight. Oh, that's cool. Okay, and keep scrolling back. Avtandil Khurtsidze. Oh, someone mentioned Avtandil Khurtsidze. We call him, and some people started calling him as a Georgian Hulk. Sorry, Georgian Tyson, because he was actually doing peekaboo elements. At least it was like his style was really similar to the peekaboo, and he had the fight with Sanders, and well, unfortunately he got a jail sentence in the U.S. for quite a few years. I think she's out now, but I'll be honest, his best years are gone at this point, so that's quite sad. And it happens, that used to happen to some boxers, some fighters. But yeah, his style resembles peekaboo in many ways. Okay, I keep scrolling up, guys. Do you know about GDM? I think he has the most technical boxing in him. GDM has a great boxing, and I think GDM is a little bit underrated. Like, just because Islam goes up, and Islam is super great, one of the greatest fighters now in the UFC. But undermining GDM that, oh, it's going to be easy for Islam, it's not exactly that way. That's why I'm saying it's going to be 50-50 to me. And I'm looking forward to see that fight. Corey has a way larger frame, which is not filled, and he did not use his range advantage against Merab, just those he lost. Corey has way more potential to be champ at lightweight or higher divisions. Well, that's the thing. I guess yes and no, because now lightweight, well, in the lightweight you have Arman and Ilya and Paddy. I mean, Corey has to like face all of those, and I think he's gonna struggle with all of them. You know what I mean? So I think Corey, in the situation that bantamweight is the most optimal for him, but with Merab just gonna sit on his, and he's gonna defend titles, and unless something happens, obviously everything happens. Even Merab himself said that things happen. Sometimes you do well, you're winning fight, and then knockout or submission. That happens. So if Merab says like nothing, things happen. But so far, if none of those occasional things happen, I see him dominating until he retires. And then you have, I guess Umar as the one of the contenders, and you have other bantamweights coming up too. But as I said, like, there's such a big disparity, and not necessarily the Merab's technique. He's evolving technique-wise too, but his stamina and cardio, it's a very good example for, like, even you teach kids in the gym that, see, this is why endurance, stamina is the number one. Technique, skills, gonna get better. But if you have that pressure and you don't get tired and you can resist the opposite pressure, then you're winning. You're most likely gonna win. There is no way. They're very rare occasions when a one fighter is super tired and another one is super good, like Merab, and they still manage to knock them out. That happens very few times in boxing, in MMA. That's not an often thing to bet on, right? So stamina wins. Stamina is number one in the practice. And the boxing back, sure, beautiful technique. Pads, yeah, just you can look like a professional, as long as you have the talent, a little bit of talent, a little bit of plasticity, you might be good while doing all those trainings. But if you step on the ring and you're having actual real fight, or in an octagon, stamina wins, because stamina is directly linked with your willpower. You break your stamina, that breaks your, you gas out, that breaks your willpower, especially if you see your opponent smiling at you and they're just warming up. I'll keep scrolling up. I'll end my exercise have to be done with less repetitions. As I said, less than 5 repetitions. Obviously, I'm not going to be saying that it's a strict. Let's say sometimes you do 7, 8. which is like a thresholding. I mean, it still focuses, helps to strength, but it's also hypertrophy. But generally, like I do less than 5 repetitions for the strength training. So I would do 1, go slow, relatively slow, like not too slow, but control. 2, boom, 3, just up to 5, and I would increase the weight. But again, landmine is a little bit, you gotta know how to do the right technique so you don't damage yourself. That's why strength training, the safest way to do strength training, less than 5 repetitions, higher weight, machine work. Lat pull downs on the machine, on the block machine or the hammers, on the horizontal rows. It's the upper body. The push press too, you can do that. You can do butterflies, everything that is like a controlled fitness machines. I love the way the body can pick up so much power from the neck, like glutes and legs. It's amazing. Yeah, this is this is at least the way for us to generate the power. Islam versus Ilya, for me, also 50-50. Even though I cheer up for Ilya, it really depends how it goes, because both of them have slight advantage. They're both super well-equipped, well-rounded fighters, and they have slight advantages in this, boxing, striking. Ilya has an advantage. Defensive striking, I think Islam has a very good defense. Like he has longer range, so he might be able to try to not let him in, not like Oliveira who just goes in like this. No, he might try to go defensive, but also then go for on the wrestling, which Ilya is also a wrestling BJJ black belt, but Islam still might have a little more advantage. But I'm not so sure on the ground. We never seen Ilya actually properly grappling with anyone, so I can't tell you exactly. Which is good. It's Ilya's advantage, because if he's actually as strong as Islam, Islam might not even like some things might happen on the ground that he doesn't expect, you know. So it's a really, to me, it's a 50-50 fight. I'm waiting for Usyk to go out, angle the hell out of the Wardley soon. Love Usyk style. No, love Usyk super style, super interesting heavyweight. I mean, naturally he's not a heavyweight, but you know, he is a heavyweight, competitive one, and yeah, his footwork is brilliant. His timing and IQ is brilliant too. You know Ronda Rousey? Yes, of course I know Ronda Rousey. What do you think about Andrew Tate? I mean, like Andrew Tate is one of the people that you know, when you scroll the YouTube, and one time you see and you're like, oh, what is he saying? And then another time you see, oh, he actually makes sense. So this is his presence is built on the controversy. So sometimes he's super likable in some situations, and sometimes he's like, oh no. But that's the thing. I think Tate brothers are too much into. That's the thing. It's very hard to get into the presence, and when you have certain type of personality and not lose yourself, it's, you know, it's hard. There are people. There's certain people who are, no matter what you put them on the spotlight, you put them on the farm, they're going to be pretty much the same. There are certain personalities like that. Andrew Tate is not that personality, I think. Islam will win against GDM. I mean, I'm 50-50. 50-50 means that Islam has absolute chances to do that, but I think GDM also has. You have tried fasting? Yes, I have done intermittent fasting, and I have done, I think the longest was like 3 days I've done fasting, and it was like when I do fasting, it's more about willpower, and it's even better when it's a spiritual experience, because otherwise I don't think there is too much point of starving yourself. Yes, it goes, it creates the autophagy and basically cleaning up your system and your cells, but at the same time, you know, there a lot of people have conditions that they shouldn't do that, like that way. You know what I mean? So just for losing weight, like, you know, like some people think they start doing fasting to lose weight. this is not the best idea. Obviously, you have hours like 12, 14, 16, maybe 18 hours that are okay, they're fine. You fast those periods, but then you eat 2 times, let's say, in that little window. But again, it's a calories in, calories out. So you still can have 2 meals, but you have to, let's say you can have 12-hour fasting, which is normal. Okay, you sleep 12 hours, maybe a little bit less, and you don't eat straight away in the morning, and then you have 12-hour window to eat, right? So that's normal, that's good enough for everyone. But instead of having the smaller window to like eat 2 big meals, you actually eat meal maybe like a lunch, not early morning, but like a late morning, and then you do that in the evening, for example, not very late evening. Like I do it that way. So before I used to do this fasting, and I thought because it has to do a lot with the like, I was one of the people I thought it helped you to lose weight and stuff. But in reality, when I learned more about the calories and how it actually works, I just started doing it the way it's comfortable for me. Are you married? Yes, I am. He was in the chat actually. He's a moderator, but I think he escaped. Which part of the Sakartvelo are you from? Sakartvelo, this is how in Georgian we say Georgia. Okay, that's how I fast. Well, yeah, I mean, as long as it works for you. I'm not saying anything against fasting. Fasting has the benefits in many ways. It helps to kill cravings. It helps to reduce the inflammation in the body. It helps to generally, especially if you eat like a proper good food and you're not eating junk, whenever you have the windows, I think it can be very beneficial. But at the same time, not for all people. Some people have, like people who have insulin resistance or that type 2 diabetes. It's good for improvement, but at the same time, their blood sugar drops and they can even faint. You know, that might not be very healthy or even safe way to do for them, because at the end of the day, more than fasting, when it comes to the type 2 diabetes and intermittent fasting, the insulin resistance is the actual food you eat. So it's a high fiber food, it's moderate amount of carbs. It's the protein, bioavailable protein, this healthy fats, obviously the micronutrients as well, or within all of it together. And it's all even the sequence you eat. Like certain studies and certain personal experience and people showed that if you eat fiber first, meaning your, I don't know, blueberries, tomatoes, pumpkin, like salad, something high in fiber, then you eat protein and the fat, and then you add eat carbs in the end, the spike's gonna be different. So the quality of the food and nutritious food that you eat is kind of on the first place, and the fasting is like a second. If you can do longer fasts, go for it. It's on you, but it goes after it is second after nutrition by importance. So you're practicing, amazing. I mean, I stopped my training. I just responded to question and engaging in the chat. But okay, guys, listen. I appreciate you. It's been almost 2.5 hours, and well, it's good. It was good training. It was good to move, and it's time to go home and have some dinner. So thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you, and I see you in the next live stream. Bye bye.